Well, I began to know about Norwich City in 1928 when I was 7. My father, uncles, cousin, they all knew about Norwich City, who were struggling in 3rd Division South Side in the quaintly named Nest, which was just off Rosary Road. But I wasn't allowed to go at the age of 7. I was too young. But I heard all about that Norwich City had reached the 3rd round of the FA Cup, the 3rd round. Wow. And they had to play an amateur side called Corinthians. And this attracted amazing support from the crowd. I think there were 20,000 went to the match. But of course, the result is never what you want. Norwich City 0, Corinthians 5. Everyone talked about the Corinthians. But the next season, I remember I was allowed to go for the first time. I was 8, 31st of August 1929. And I was going to see Fulham. So we lived in a council house on the Earlham estate with Dad. So took the tram from the cemetery gates, and we got off at the station. We got there in double quick time, and then we walked down Riverside, up St Matthew's Road, Rosary Road, and there was the ground. And the ground was actually made out of a chalk pit. An amazing little ground. There was the grandstand, which seemed about a 3-storey building to a small boy, where I suppose the dressing rooms were down below, the tiny director's box, and I think you had to pay 2 shillings for an adult, a shilling for the small boy.
So the grandstand, was that on the Rosary Road side or on the long?
Well, there were several turnstiles, but on the right-hand side of the ground, it was what they called the chicken run. And there couldn't have been more than about 6 terraced paths for the crowd to go in, with others behind. Across the narrow pitch, there was another grandstand with no seats, as I remember. And at the far end, there was a great brick wall, which would deter many a speedy winger when he was running down the field. And that was what they called Spy and Cop, which went up at the houses at the back. And I was virtually sick with excitement to see the little boy.
You were.
Norwich City 0, Fulham 4.
Oh dear.
I cried after every goal, but there were a few people from London there. They said, poor little boy, keep growing, give him some more chocolate, Al. So I did very well by eating chocolate. But that was my first introduction to Norwich City, who lost 4-0.